out, and just to let you know, I have spoken to every one of the union reps discussing a place in which we can all go, we can all be, the press can be, and an open dialogue. So that will happen. And that will happen within, I'd say, a week or so, because we know that you're going to have families, you're going to have friends with you and support. I want to walk you through how and where we are today. Every chance we have in Albany to talk about cutting, talking about savings, there's always talk and a lot of great grandstanding, but really never any facts to what will happen to the person or to the company or to the regulations and how things really work. And I take pride to be one of those people who vote no a lot, raise my hand an awful lot, and ask an awful lot of questions. My role in the state of New York is I'm the ranking member to the labor. That means I represent all of you. When I'm in a meeting, I always speak in behalf of the labor movement. When most are running out of the room, I'm running in. And it's not to say that I don't have colleagues who don't support union and labor. It's trying to make it fair that why is union members being targeted faster than non-union. So, to just make you understand, that is my role in Albany. I'm the Assemblywoman to the 97th District. I've been elected for the last 7 years. Before I was the Assemblywoman, I was the Deputy Supervisor here in the town of Warwick, so I am very aware of this facility and the great things that this facility offers into the community. So it's not like I take a drive through and I've never seen it. I actually had lived not far from here. My kids were raised here. I have a daughter who's a New York City police officer, and I have a son who's going on the job, and I'm married to a police officer. So I understand the family net of what we do for a living and our loved ones, and how hard it is to get up and then come home at night and not know where your future is going to be. So saying that, when a bill was passed in the budget, the legislation said that the governor had the power to close 3,700 beds in the state of New York. Now, knowing that and hearing that, I represent Otisville and Mid-Orange. I took every moment I had to have an open dialogue with the governor's office about the two facilities and how great and the workforce, the area that I represented, and what we had to offer. So I thought doing this up front right away would show the governor that I have two facilities that you wouldn't even go near to even consider closing. Last Thursday, I'm on a fishing trip with my husband. My phone rings. I'm just getting back from Albany. My phone rings. It's the governor's office. Annie, Mid-Orange is on the hit list. You could have knocked me over with the bat. From that moment on, I have been on the phone with anyone who called. We've been on the phone with the governor's staff, trying to figure out heads or tails of what happened and why Mid-Orange was on the list. Needless to say, it was the holiday weekend, so we had 4th of July, which who announces such a devastating announcement and then allows the public to be in an uproar all weekend is beyond belief. Okay, so now we got Monday, and Monday's a holiday. So when everyone wants to say, where are people? It was the holiday weekend. And you know, it didn't make a lot of press. It didn't make a lot of noise because of the timing. You know, it was brilliant. The timing was brilliant if you're the governor. If you work here in this facility, it was shitty. So here we have a whole weekend of no answers and nothing going on. Tuesday morning, phone call right to the governor's staff, and the governor's team, #2 guy named Steve Cohen, has taken every phone call from me, has accepted every email with an answer, and when he didn't have an answer for me, he would give the message to somebody else and let me have an answer. Now you say, that should be a normal way government should work. It doesn't really work like that. I've worked under 4 governors, and you can have something happen and you don't get an answer for a week. So I cannot go to war with Governor Cuomo's team because they're the team they only have out here who are going to give me answers and help each one of you with some kind of conclusion of what the hell's going on. We hear today, you know, just to clean up the air, Mike Sweeten, the supervisor here in the town of Warwick. He was not on the radio. Mike Sweeten is in Florida. He'll be back. moment regarding Mid-Orange. We have water, sewer, local businesses. The whole part of the community goes around Mid-Orange. So it is devastating to the town of Warwick. Our phone in my assembly office rings 8 hours a day. Emails, phone calls, everyone wanting an answer, which we don't have. We don't have. So as of yesterday morning, another call to the governor's office in the morning. And again, I want to keep this relationship going good because it's my only answers that I can give you is if I have a dialogue without me screaming on the phone, hanging up, and I have no other communication except a letter that will be sent with the concern later, which you can't have happen. So as of yesterday, a team is being put in place to do a study on how to close the 7 facilities. So I want to laugh when they call me, and believe me, there's nobody more that wants to just scream. I have to say, explain to me how this team will work. A group of people from the governor's team, and we're definitely going to insist somebody from Mid-Orange is on the team, to have everyone explain to us how do you close a facility, and what time frame does this happen, how does it work with transfers, how does it work that we keep the workforce going. They don't have answers. So the phase 1, which Mid-Orange would have been on, we're not on phase 1, we're on phase 2. So that means they're not going to be near us until December 1st, okay? I can only tell you, that was like carrying bricks to get us to phase 2, so that we were not on the 60 days from June 30th. So we got ourselves some time here. My colleagues who are in the phase 1, I'm going to have an open dialogue daily to find out what's going on, bad, why is this happening, show me what we can learn from this. And I'm going to keep pursuing to get us to the further phase so that we have ourselves the availability and the time to just keep showing the governor what we have here. The governor has made up his mind, 3,700 beds. He has committed to that. I wish I could stand here and say he's not going to do it. He's going to close 3,700 beds. He's finding a way. Today, just getting briefed again a little bit, I realize that there are inmates that have been taken out of here. I don't even know if the governor's team is aware of this. I will have an open dialogue daily to be able to report to them and get answers back as quickly as possible. When it comes to the personnel questions, there's nothing worse than going home and not knowing when will my job end, when will my coverage end, will I have my vacations. That's enough to make anybody want to have to throw up that you don't have your answers. That I will make sure you have somebody up here faster than slower, because that's ridiculous. You can't even consider that people should live like that and worry about such an issue. My husband had lost his job. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I remember my husband calling me, losing his job, coming home to Warwick, and I had to sell my home in Warwick. Okay, I lived it as a wife and a mother. It sucks. Nobody wants it to happen. I can promise you, I will fight like hell for each one of you to get what you deserve. If I could take a warrant and tell the governor no beds to be closed, I wish I could make that happen. But I would be standing here telling you a lie. He will close 3,700. How this transition is going to take place, I don't have the devil in details. Speaking on behalf of a lot of my colleagues, a lot of them don't have the answer. They don't know what's going on, so that we're waiting patiently for the answers. And it's sad, but government is the hardest red tape that you can ever imagine to get through and try to get help. It's just a constant battle. Before I left my office today, I took one last call. 84 people from the DEC were laid off today. That's 84 more people that will be on unemployment. I mean, it's happening so rapidly that the state of New York, I don't even know how they're going to be able to keep up with unemployment. So we're seeing the most difficult times. We're seeing decisions made so quickly that nobody can even catch their breath.